Lost Ark will be released in Western regions on February 11, 2022, and without any doubt that will be one of the biggest, if not the biggest release in MMORPG gaming world in 2022. But what to play until then? There is lots of MMORPGs currently present on a gaming market. Some of them are new, some of them are old but still alive, but to be honest, just a few of them are worth playing. In today's video, you will see 5 PC MMORPGs worth playing until release of Lost Ark. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more MMORPG videos in the future. Let's start with the first game on this list, and that is Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV is a MMORPG developed and published by Square Enix. The original Final Fantasy XIV, released in September 2010, was a commercial and critical failure, but a version of the game released in 2013 had a largely positive reception. Critics praised the game for its solid mechanics and progression, and by October 2021, total of 24 million players have been registered to play the game. Even today, when I'm making this video, Final Fantasy XIV is very highly popular and played. With release of new expansion, Endwalker, on December 7, 2021, popularity of this game have continued to grow even more. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker is the 4th expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. It was announced in February 2021, and from release on December 7, reactions of players are very positive. With new expansion, 2 new jobs are introduced: Sage and Reaper. The level cap for all disciplines, excluding limited jobs, was increased to 90. New dungeons and trials were included at launch, and much more. The expansion deals with the second coming of Final Days, and I must admit it's something really amazing. So if you have never tried to play this game before, I can highly recommend to you Final Fantasy XIV. You will not make a mistake if you try to play it. Let's go further with Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is a MMORPG developed by ArenaNet and published by NCSoft, released in August 2012. The game sold over 2 million copies in its first 2 weeks. By August 2013, the peak player concurrency had reached 460,000 players. By August 2015, over 5 million copies had been sold, at which point the base game became free to play. Overall, by August 2021, over 16 million accounts have been created. Guild Wars 2 allows a player to create a character from a combination of different races and professions. The race and profession of the player determines the skill they can access. Guild Wars 2, like Guild Wars, uses a skill-based combat system, where players must select only 10 skills from a much larger pool, introducing an element of strategy. In-game story is taking us into high fantasy world of Tyria, 250 years after the player's defeat of the Great Destroyer in the Eye of the North expansion. 5 so-called Elder Dragons, sleeping beneath the continent, have awoken in the time since Guild Wars, causing widespread destruction to Tyria and corrupting its inhabitants. Interesting in-game story, beautiful graphics and very enjoyable gameplay are main attributes of this MMORPG. Developers are active, and the new updates and events are incoming soon to this old beauty. So if you have nothing else to play until release of Lost Ark, this game is one really good free-to-play option for you. There are packages you can buy later if you want to buy it, but you can start to play Guild Wars 2 completely for free and play it on that way for a long time. Next game on this list is Black Desert Online. Black Desert Online is a sandbox-oriented fantasy MMORPG developed by Korean developer Pearl Abyss and originally published for Microsoft Windows in 2015. If you have never played Black Desert Online before, then you need to know that combat in this game is action-based, requiring manual aiming and free movement similar to those found in third-person shooters. The game offers housing, fishing, farming and trading, as well as a large PvP siege events and castle battles. An active combat system requires precise manual aiming, dodging and using combos. unlike the top targeting system seen in most MMORPGs. Skills can be activated throughout use of combos for attacking, dodging and blocking. Players are also able to engage in mounted combat, and mounts are acquired by taming in the wild, and players are able to breed special mounts by mating certain types. Black Desert Online in-game story is taking us in high fantasy world and revolves around the conflict between two rival nations, the Republic of Calphion and the Kingdom of Valencia. During 2021, we have seen few new classes released, and developers have managed to provide lots of interesting events for players to participate in. On December 22nd, 2021, we have seen huge reboot of 17 classes with lots of changes regarding skills and graphical design with start of winter season. If you want to enjoy in really beautiful graphics and combat which feels good under the fingers, you need to try to play this game. Black Desert Online is a buy-to-play game, but a few times per year, Pearl Abyss is providing us with a special event, and during that event you can grab a copy of the game for free. Each time I notice that event is up, I make a video about it here on my YouTube channel, so if you want to get BDO for free, don't worry. Next time also when I see that event is up, I will let you know about it in dedicated video. So, Black Desert Online is one really beautiful buy-to-play option to play until release of Lost Ark. So if you have time and you didn't try to play it before, try it out. Let's go further with Albion Online. Albion Online is a free-to-play medieval fantasy MMORPG developed by Sandbox Interactive, a studio based in Berlin, Germany. Game was released on July 17, 2017, and as of April 10, 2019, Albion Online has gone free-to-play, with option for players to buy premium with in-game currency silver. Albion Online is a cross-platform MMO, playable on PC and on mobile devices. Gameplay of Albion Online revolves around a classless system, in which the equipment a player chooses to wear defines their abilities and the way they can play. The game has a fully player-driven economy. From basic tools and clothes to mighty armors and powerful weapons, nearly every item in the game is crafted by players, in player-constructed buildings from resources gathered by players. Game offers both lots of different PvE and PvP content, and you can compete against other adventurers in high-risk, high-reward, full-loot fights. On November 24th, 2021, new update went live on servers of Albion Online, The Land Awakened, bringing many changes and new interesting things to the game. I can highly recommend to you this game because gameplay feels really good and population of players is still high. So regarding Albion Online, this is free-to-play game similar to Lost Ark because of same isometric perspective, but completely different regarding everything else. And you can check some dedicated videos on my YouTube channel regarding Albion Online if you want to check more regarding in-game features and actually what is happening with Albion Online right now. But as you have heard right now, I can also recommend to you this game. It's a very interesting game, and actually it's very similar to Lost Ark just because of that isometric perspective. But that isometric perspective basically is the only thing that is very similar with Lost Ark. Yes, they are both MMORPGs, but other than that, they are completely different games. However, don't forget about Albion Online. This is one very good option to play until release of Lost Ark. And on the end of the list, I have for you one new MMORPG which was recently removed from Steam, but you can still play it throughout original game client. Myth of Empires. Myth of Empires is a new MMO sandbox game developed by Angela Games, which went into early access on Steam on November 18, 2021 as a buy-to-play game. Game features a high degree of freedom where players need to fight to survive and earn their place in a world torn by war. You can build fortresses, lead armies in massive battles, siege enemy cities, and establish your own empire. You begin your gameplay on ancient eastern continent, devoured by the flames of war. You will try by all means to rise from zero to hero in this open world. You will need to survive in hard environment, build your homeland, raise your army and vanquish your foes on the battlefield. Also, you can form a team with friends, rampage on the massive battlefield and build your glorious empire. So, is this game a real MMORPG? Well, it's a combination of MMO and survival game with some elements of MMORPGs. Game was recently removed from Steam because Steam received allegations of suspected copyright infringement concerning Myth of Empires. And in accordance with DMCA and to exempt itself from liability has temporarily removed Myth of Empires from its store. That happened like few weeks back, so let's hope that all will soon be sorted out, since this game had really a good start and positive reaction of players was noted. So, overall looking, these 5 games are worth playing to keep us busy until release of Lost Ark, which is coming closer day by day. I know that many of you are waiting for release of Lost Ark in Western regions, especially if you have never played before in Korea, Japan or Russia. If you are interested into Lost Ark and other new upcoming PC MMORPGs, check my YouTube channel where you will find lots of gameplay videos, guides, news and reviews from world of MMORPG gaming with the main focus on new MMORPGs and of course on Lost Ark. Let me know in the comments below video, will you play Lost Ark after Western release on February 11, 2022 and which MMORPG are you playing nowadays? Thank you for watching the video and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more MMORPG videos in the future. See you soon.